The forest was old. Deep in the Appalachian backwoods, the canopy swallowed light before it reached the forest floor. Sheriff Raymond Carter stood beside his patrol truck, boots sinking slightly into the damp moss, as he listened to the hysterical woman in front of him. Her son Alex, 7 years old, had gone missing while playing in the woods behind their cabin. It wasn't unusual for children to wander, but it was unusual for them to disappear without a trace in less than 10 minutes. No cries, no rustling, no broken branches. Just gone. Carter radioed in the SAR team, the search and rescue volunteers who knew these forests better than anyone. Among them was a man named Frank Dillard, a seasoned tracker who'd worked dozens of missing person cases. He was the first to notice something strange. "Footprints stop right here," Frank muttered, pointing to a patch of dry leaves. No scuff marks, no backtracking, like he vanished into thin air. The forest was dead silent. No birds, no wind, not even bugs. Sheriff Carter felt it too. A tension in the air, like something watching from the trees. On the second day of the search, Frank went deeper into the woods than anyone else, alone with just his radio and compass. That's when he saw it. A staircase. It stood in a small clearing, perfectly intact, made of clean white wood with a banister, no dirt or moss. Just a staircase in the middle of nowhere. Frank stopped in his tracks, the hair on his arms rising. It wasn't attached to anything. No ruins, no house, no foundation. He reached for his radio, but it only hissed back with static. Something about the stairs felt wrong. Not dangerous exactly, but forbidden. He didn't climb them. He turned around, but the woods behind him weren't quite the same. The trees were too close. The air felt heavier. When he finally made it back to base camp, it was almost dark. He didn't tell the others what he saw. That night, Frank dreamed of stairs leading into the sky, and something waiting at the top. Back at camp, another SAR volunteer, Maria, approached Frank. "I saw it too," she whispered. "Day 1. Didn't tell anyone." Frank stared at her. "The staircase?" She nodded. "They say never climb them. We're told that first thing in training, unofficially. If you see stairs, walk away, don't touch, don't climb." "Why?" he asked. She looked away. "Because people don't come back the same. If they come back at all." Frank couldn't sleep that night. He kept thinking about the missing boy. Could Alex have climbed the stairs? On day 4, they found something. The boy's shoes, neatly placed side by side in the center of a small clearing. No prints around them. Frank clenched his jaw. That wasn't left by a child. The woods were beginning to turn on them. Radios only worked within a few feet. Compasses spun. One man swore he heard whispers calling his name. Another got separated for 30 minutes and came back in shock, unable to speak. Still, no body. No boy. Frank couldn't ignore it anymore. On day 6, he returned alone to the clearing where he'd seen the stairs. But they were gone, in their place. A different staircase. This one was stone, old and cracked, covered in frost even though the temperature was warm. He hesitated. Then, he climbed. The moment his boot touched the first step, he felt it. The forest sound drained away. The trees seemed to pulse and breathe. At the third step, his ears rang. By the 5th, he thought he heard breathing. Not his. Something up there. At the top of the stairs, there was no platform. Just air. But something reached out of that emptiness and... Frank woke up hours later at the base of the stairs. The sun was high. His radio was working again. When he got back to base, they all stared at him like they'd seen a ghost. "You've been gone for 3 days, Maria said. He didn't believe it, until he looked in the mirror and saw his hair had turned almost completely white. His voice trembled. "It saw me." Frank didn't speak much after that. Months later, Sheriff Carter retired early. He never told anyone what the rescue team actually saw, but he kept a notebook. In it, he wrote something he overheard Maria say during their last night in the forest. "The stairs aren't what's dangerous. It's what waits at the top, and sometimes it follows you back down. Every forest has rules, but some rules don't make sense until you break them. and by then it's too late. Entry found in Frank Dillard's missing person journal, recovered near a staircase no longer present.